Got something.
And we're back!
Doing it live.
We're doing it. We'll do it live!
Do it live.
We'll do it live.
Do it live.
We'll do it
back.
live. Fuck it.
Do it live.
Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Welcome back.
And thing sucks.
That's how it goes.
And yes, we are doing it live, okay? So we did what we said.
It's amazing how they're able to capture Komorn law in action. Michael Komorn specifically. Just kidding. So long ago. It's interesting. All right, so we got a bunch of topics here to go over. Let's talk about the blunt truth about marijuana under Biden.
The blunt truth.
So there's a lot of different perspectives on this, or a lot of different news. Some of it may be fake, some of it may be real. So is that all over? There's no more fake news, or there's real news? How do we do that now? Somebody's got to explain that to me.
I don't know. I think it's all...
Is there fake news now?
No, I think we're back to actually trying to critically think on our own.
So far, 4 times during this short podcast so far, I have used the technique of, I've heard from a lot of people, and a lot of people are saying things like that. I'm just to kind of joke around because it's not part of my vernacular. Nevertheless, it's an interesting topic. I mean, listen, I actually, it doesn't matter what I think. I'm actually very indifferent. Like, I think there's a lot of energy to talk about this topic is wasted. I really don't believe anything's going to get done. I don't think there's any real interest of the federal government to take care of this. I think they make a lot of money on the tax consequences.
Yeah.
It is actually like an automatic. You get businesses that potentially are making money and automatic audits, kind of that go with the territory, and they're kind of riding this out, giving the IRS new cause and purpose. But let's talk about this a little bit. So, different points of view, I guess, in the news of what's going on with the Democratic platform led by President-elect Biden. Goes to the marijuana reform advocates have been looking for signs that an incoming president-elect Biden will make good on his campaign pledge to pursue cannabis policy changes, since the former vice president has been projected to win the election. But they didn't get on any such sign in a new racial equality plan his transition team has put forward. While Biden emphasizes on the campaign trail that cannabis decriminalization and expungements will be part of his racial justice agenda, the plan released over the weekend omits any specific mentions of marijuana reform. Yeah. Many of the proposals are broadly described, however, and it's possible that a policy like decriminalization could be folded into broader commitments to eliminate racial disparities and ensuring fair sentences, for example. In any case, there's been some skepticism on the part of the advocates that Biden's stated support for cannabis reform will be matched with administrative action. And although he and Vice President
Prosecutor Harris,
Kamala Harris, have repeatedly promised to follow through with decriminalization expungements if elected, that issue did not make the cut in the new commitment to uplifting black and brown communities. The page says Biden is working to strengthen America's commitment to justice and reform our criminal justice system, and lays out other specific promises that were often mentioned in the campaign trail alongside marijuana reform, such as a ban on police chokeholds and creating a national oversight commission to track law enforcement abuses. But cannabis reform is nowhere to be found in the transition team document. In contrast, a still live page of Biden's separate campaign site for his plan for Black America that he rolled out while running for president includes a pledge to decriminalize the use of cannabis and automatically expunge all prior cannabis use convictions. I could go on a little bit. So, anyways, first question is, if that was true, I mean, no, that is not that seems totally rational to me. I mean, in terms of what we know about Biden, I never believed that when he got in, he was going to be an advocate for decriminalizing. I thought, I
didn't either.
I never thought it was part of his agenda. His history as a lawmaker doesn't necessarily lead him that way. He's never someone that's been outspoken. It's never only because of the dynamics of the party that
it's not a priority.
It's not a priority of his.
And there may have been some talk, but I don't think it was really serious. I wouldn't count on it at all. I don't. especially
I would never have thought it.
there's a million different excuses he can use on why not to. I mean, we're in the middle of a pandemic. There's still going to be gridlock in Washington because the Republicans, as far as I know, have maintained control of the Senate. So of course he can point his finger at Congress.
He's got to lead the way. Got to try to get it out there.
Do anything.
Well, that's a side conversation though too, Jim. That's important. I mean, a lot of people don't believe that both Democrats are going to win, but there's the runoff elections in Georgia that, if both Democrats won, would then make it easier for some type of sensible cannabis legislation.
Do you think it's like that? Is it that divided? You know, I was reminded of from another thing, and if there's any senator that I've ever mentioned more in the court of law, it would be the Rohrbacher, right? Mm-hmm. Who was Republican, if I'm not mistaken, in his rider to the budget for the Department of Justice, which did not fund them for investigating medical marijuana states that had programs, etc. Mm-hmm. So they actually defunded police investigating for marijuana. I'm just questioning if it's, and I'm not saying this. I'm saying this is total neutral.
I'm not saying that that even as a Republican held Senate, that they wouldn't be able to pass something. I'm saying that it's an easy excuse for Joe Biden.
Sure.
Because as far as I'm concerned, he can, with a series of executive orders, for all intents and purposes, decriminalize marijuana. And I know there's debate on whether he can actually do that or not. I believe he can.
I think
I believe
he can from he do a couple different things.
Yep.